My professional journey began with the dawning of the 1980s. What a volatile time that was. Soaring inflation, unprecedented interest rates, and on top of all that, the stock market crashed. And the crash exported heightened levels of economic fear and uncertainty all around the globe. And that's the period in which yours truly, Phillip Van Hooser, began his supervisory and managerial career. Those were tough times. They just were. But interestingly, in that environment, I learned a critical business and life lesson. Specifically, I learned that even in the midst of business misfortune and mayhem, opportunities to learn and grow still exist. Fortunately, forward-looking leaders existed then as now. Leaders who were personally committed to surviving perilous times and building businesses by enlisting and harvesting the creativity, imagination, and brain power of every employee at every level. In many ways, the economic desperation of the 1980s, in fact, provided a much-needed and possibly overdue jumpstart to empowering employees as never before. So, let's talk for a few minutes about empowerment. To fully understand the concept of empowerment, one must begin by understanding the proper use of power. Power, of course, is the root word from which empowerment is derived. Consider this definition. Power, in practice, is essentially the ability to grant, withhold, or withdraw something someone else wants or needs. Or put a different way, if someone must ask your permission, you have power. The power to grant, withhold, or withdraw that which is being requested. Of course, there's much more that could be said and discussed about the proper and improper uses of power. But again, today, our focus is on empowerment. So, consider this related definition. If power is granting and withholding, withdrawing, something somebody wants or needs, then empowerment is the practical process of willingly and knowingly granting one's official power to another. You know, forward-thinking leaders are quick to recognize the many benefits associated with empowered employees. But many others, they don't even know where to start. And others still wonder, is the juice worth the squeeze? At the heart of any successful empowerment initiative is trust. Before you, me, or anyone can freely empower another, well, we must trust the person's level of commitment to be consistent with our own. We must trust the person to be adequately educated, trained, skilled, and motivated to make and implement quality decisions. And we must trust that the person's objectives are rightly aligned with those of the organization. If and when sufficient levels of trust are established, fully functioning empowerment can become a reality. However, if or when trust is absent, empowerment is more a mental exercise than a practical reality. So, how can you get there from here? Prepare, share, declare. Enlightened leaders seek out opportunities to prepare those around them. Once adequately prepared, enlightened leaders willingly share their vested power with individuals ready and willing to accept the challenges ahead of them. Finally, once the power has been shared, enlightened leaders proudly and definitively declare their support and confidence in support of those that they trust, the empowered followers. I once heard someone say that tough times don't last, but tough people do. The 1980s taught me something slightly different. I learned that the tougher the times, the more necessary the need to empower those who can help us survive, thrive, and succeed. Power, trust, preparation, communication, empowerment, these are all concepts every leader ought to know and be able to practice.